What is poppin', fight fans, and welcome to the Mystic Hour on MMA Island. I am Mystic Black Darnell Giovanni, and I am honored to be joined by the UFC number three flyweight, Lauren Murphy. I made a mistake last time. You are number three. Congratulations on that. You deserve that. Lauren, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. Good to talk to you.
Absolutely. Last time, my first question was going to be, what have you been doing since your last fight? But this weekend, you added a title to your collection in winning the grappling title. How was that?
I did. It was super fun. I was really nervous about it. Oh, I better plug in my phone. I don't normally do like the sub only style kind of tournaments. I just don't train a lot of footlocks and sorry, I'm plugging
Yeah.
a lot of those like sub only tournaments because I don't train a lot of footlocks. And so um those are pretty prevalent, at sub only shows. And so anyway, I just hardly ever do them. It was really big kind of step out of my comfort zone to get out there and do that. And it worked out. It was really a lot of fun. And I'd like to do some more, I think. So yeah, it was competition. And they had a really nice belt. I won like for no
I
gi.
was
And the belt is super nice. It's like really heavy. It's just really well made. It's not like a cheap piece of shit. It's nice.
I saw that. It looked very similar to the older UFC title, and I was like, wow, that's a beautiful belt.
Yeah, it was cool.
Did it make you have that feeling of like, maybe, you know what, one day this is going to be a UFC title?
Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry, that's my dog.
Yeah, no worries.
She has a talent for doing that when I'm trying to talk to somebody.
so, do, so do you think you'll go back maybe in between fights just to defend that title?
It just all depends. Like if I don't have a fight coming up, then yeah, I would take a few weeks to try to defend it. But those jiu-jitsu girls are good. That was a tough match, and I trained pretty hard for that match. And so those girls that do just jiu-jitsu, those are some tough competitors at this level. But yeah, I would defend it if the timing worked out. But obviously, if I had a UFC fight, then I would probably relinquish it.
Absolutely. So you moved from the MMA lab down to Texas. What's some of the biggest changes you noticed in your game since you've gone down there?
Well, my striking has improved a lot. My attitude gets better all the time, I think. My strength and conditioning program is a lot different. I eat better. Well, it's not even necessarily that I eat better. Sorry about my
Yeah,
dog.
no worries. You're all good.
It's not even necessarily that I eat better. It's just that I'm more consistent with my nutritionist now. Um, Man, yeah, just everything. Everything's different. We've changed so much, but I think it really did start with an attitude change about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I decided to change my attitude. Then it was like everything else started changing around me. And now everything's different. But it definitely started when I tried to start changing myself.
Yeah. Was it a tough cut? Because I know you used to fight at featherweight for a little bit. Has it always been a tough cut, or is it easier nowadays because you moved down there and changed your nutrition?
It's still pretty tough. It's hard. I have to be really, really disciplined to make 125 and to make 125 and still be in like really great shape to perform the next day. So yeah, it's definitely takes some discipline. I'll never, ever, 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 ever even think about 115. But
Ooh.
yeah, at featherweight though, when I was fighting at featherweight, that was like the very beginning of my career. That was like back when I was still drinking. So I was like bigger and bloated. I was a lot less athletic.
In
Yeah.
Alaska, right?
In Alaska. Yeah.
Did you recently watch the fight between Cynthia Calvillo and Katlyn Chookagian?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What do you think of that fight?
I thought Katlyn just tooled her. Like Katlyn's so long and she's so good at keeping the distance and like I don't know. I don't really have nothing bad to say about Katlyn. She's an
Yeah.
experienced fighter. She's fought a lot of really tough people. She's one of those people in the division that like really hasn't been handed shit. She's always been given like tough fights. Yeah, I thought she made Cynthia just look silly. Cynthia looked kind of fat and out of shape. Looked like she had just gotten off the couch. It looked like she had no idea how to deal with Chookagian's style, which Chookagian always does the same thing. It's not like she's out there surprising people with what she's doing, and Cynthia just looked lost, I thought.
Did you see the same holes that you were going to expose when you fought Cynthia?
Yeah, except I'm more willing to come forward and exchange. You know what I mean? I think I'm better in the clinch. I think I hit a lot harder. So, yeah, I mean, yes and no, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I saw myself beating her. I saw myself making her look bad like that. but my style is different than Chookagian's for sure.
And now you're ranked above Cynthia. Do you still have intentions on fighting her, or that's kind of a fight you put behind you?
I hope we do get to fight someday, but now it's like she's coming off a loss and she's ranked below me. So now it's like it really doesn't make sense for me to fight her at this point. But I do hope that we get to run that back at some point.
Absolutely. And speaking of run that back, you fought Katlyn in the past before. Do you want to fight her again and now in a different weight division?
I do, but I'm trying to get to the title.
Yeah.
So that's really that's my only priority. My first priority is I'm trying to fucking get a title shot here. You know what I mean? So some stuff that we still have to figure out. I have a new management team and we're going to see how things shake out. But, I think I deserve a title shot. I've definitely earned it. I'm on a 4-fight win streak. I'm one of those people too that's never been handed an easy fight, and I think that obviously in the last year and a half, this change of camp has put me just on a way different trajectory. Like I'm I'm ready to fight for the title. You know what I mean? I think I've earned it. I've beat everybody they've put in front of me. This is crazy that they're talking about giving girls that have one fight in the division a title fight. That's crazy.
Absolutely. And which I was going to ask you next. Do you think Jessica Andrade deserves that title shot against Valentina?
I hate to say yes because I want the title shot. But, okay, so honestly, that's impressive. She walked into the division. She finished Katlyn, who was, ranked in the top 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And does have a bunch of wins in the division. Like Jessica's a former champion. She now has finishes in 3 different weight classes. So I understand like the push. I do get why the UFC would be behind her having a title shot and why that's appealing. Like I want to see that fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm but damn, hopefully I could just fight the winner. Let them fight and then I'll fight the winner. I think that makes the most sense right now, And, after I win the title, Katlyn Chookagian can be my first defense.
I agree. And Katlyn has recently come out and said, if you can't beat me, you shouldn't be fighting Valentina Shevchenko, kind of making her a little bit of a gatekeeper. You think that's a good idea on her behalf, or that makes sense?
No, I think that's just her way of trying to stay relevant, talking her way into staying high in the division. Like that's just her running her mouth a little bit. It's okay. That's what she's supposed to do, but yeah, she's not the gatekeeper to Valentina.
And Valentina recently fought Jennifer Maia in a 5-round decision. Anything you take from that performance?
Uh-oh, now you sound like you're underwater again. Just for that last question.
Do you hear me now?
It's a little bit better.
A little bit better. Valentina, right now? Better? A little bit? Hold on. Maybe one.
Wait.
Good? Good now? Better? Can you hear me? Give me 1 second. Here we go again. Testing. Oh, no. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Wow, this is crazy. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
That's getting closer.
Better now?
Yeah, it's like better. It's still not good, but it's a little bit better.
Can you hear me enough?
It's about the same.
About the same. What about now? I don't know why it's doing this. Crazy. Okay. So it's getting good too. Testing. Wow, I don't know what's going on. Testing. I don't know what I did. Testing. Testing. This is not good. Testing. Nothing. You don't hear me?
That's good. That's perfect.
We're good?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. And we're back. So sorry, guys, for that trouble. As I was saying before, Valentina recently fought Jennifer Maia. What did you take from that performance?
I thought they both looked really good. Like Valentina looked super, super fast. I really liked her takedowns. I think her clinch is really impressive. I'm actually a big Valentina fangirl. And then on it, Jennifer Maia is tough and she's really strong. So I saw some of the stuff she was doing that I thought she was having success with against Valentina. And then there was a lot of stuff she really could have done better. And I'm sure she probably feels that way too about her own performance, but there was some stuff she definitely could have done better that when I get my chance to fight, I'm going to do better.
Yeah. So with the Jennifer took her down in that second round, do you think you'd have that grappling advantage over Valentina?
I think so. Yeah. My top pressure is crazy. You know what I mean? I have crazy top pressure. I'm one of the strongest women in the division. I have an excellent ground game. It's getting better all the time. Yeah. I think I have a great shot against Valentina, especially in the grappling department. And I hit really hard. If I can touch her, I can hurt her. I'm sure of it.
And hopefully you get that title shot soon. Do you think that a lot of fighters have had issues with the UFC rankings? You think that's something that should be taken away and they kind of go old school route and just whoever deserves the title gets that title shot, or you're okay with the rankings?
I'm okay with the rankings being there. It gives us stuff to talk about. It gives us things to argue about on Twitter. You know what I mean? So it makes it interesting, right? It gives you something to work towards as a fighter. You want to work your way up the rankings. And so, yeah, I think it's a really beneficial tool, really. I don't mind arguing over it. I think I've made my point. I've won 4 in a row against all ranked opponents. I beat people in the top 5. I beat title contenders. Like the next logical step for me is to fight somebody that has won the belt. And whether that's Jessica Andrade or Valentina Shevchenko, like either one would be fine with me, but yeah, having a ranking system, I think, is super useful. Gives you something to work towards.
And you started fighting a little bit later on in life. Do you give yourself a certain amount of time before you reach that title? And having that title shot, would that be enough for your career?
I never gave myself a certain amount of time, really. No, I wouldn't say I gave myself a certain amount of time because I've always felt better and better and better. Like every fight I've ever had, I've always felt like was a better performance than my last, in a lot of ways. So I guess I've always felt like I'm going to fight until I feel like physically I don't, like my body can't really do it anymore, and right now I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm still getting more athletic. So
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
I just forgot the second part of the question that you asked me.
Do you give yourself a certain amount of time? Like, would that define your career, having that title shot, just having the title shot, but not winning it?
Oh, well, no, because it's going to define my career when I become a UFC champion. That's going to be like the defining moment of my career. But earning a title shot is the next goal, of course. That's the next thing in front of me. And it is important to say that, like, I earned my spot across from the champion. You know what I mean? That's really what I'm working for here. So when I win the UFC title, that will be the most defining moment, though, for sure.
And Lauren, you recently announced that you're with First Round Management down here in South Florida. How do you like having a manager now? And do you feel a difference and less pressure having to deal with that part of MMA?
Yeah, I do. I like Lou. I like First Round. I didn't think I would, and I was really, really nervous about it. But so far, so good, man. I'm pretty happy. So Lou's been really good to me. So yeah, I'm happy with First Round Management. I mean, we're still pretty new in our relationship, so we'll see. But so far, so good. And yeah, it does take a lot of pressure off. There's a lot less for me to worry about now that I can just turn over to Lou and he takes care of it for me. So yeah, I think I have the best team in the world. I believe that. My team of people around me, my coaches, my nutritionist, strength and conditioning, and my manager, it's a hand-picked team from all different areas. You know what I mean? That people that I've met along the way that I trust a lot, that are the best at what they do. And so I'm happy that Lou is one of those.
And speaking of your team, you have your husband always in your corner, cornering you. How does that feel having that? Because some people, don't like to intertwine those two things, but does it help you more?
Yeah, I was actually at this grappling tournament we just did this weekend. We cornered each other. So I cornered him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then he cornered me, and I'm not as high level of a coach as he is. I'm just not, and so I can coach him because we kind of know each other so well, but I was a little lost even when I was coaching him. But when he coaches me, I feel so confident. I know I can do like whatever he says. If I do it when he says to do it, I know that it's going to work, or that it's bare minimum, it's the next right thing to do, you know? So yeah. And he knows me so well. He can literally look at me and he knows what I'm thinking. Like my husband and I have a super tight relationship. We're like old pair of shoes. We just go together. Yeah, it's helpful to me. It actually brings me a lot of confidence having him in my corner.
That's awesome. And I hope when you get that title shot, they kind of highlight that part of your life, because I feel like it's really important to your career. Lauren, when do you want to get back in the octagon? I know you said last time you're going to take a little vacation and you see what would happen. What are your thoughts?
Well, so I'm so excited. So we leave tomorrow to go on a big international trip. So we have to get COVID tested tomorrow. So as long as we both pass our COVID tests, we're going on this trip. So keep your fingers crossed. Yeah. But we're going to go to Cairo for a few days in Egypt and go see the pyramid. Wow. We're going to the Maldives for 8 nights. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome vacation as long as we pass these damn COVID tests tomorrow. But and basically I fought 4 times in the last 15 months. I just did this little grappling thing. I moved across the country. We completely gutted and remodeled a house in that time. We went through the whole COVID pandemic. I've cut weight a bunch. Yeah, it's time for a little vacation. I didn't even want to think about fighting. I don't want to think about an opponent. If I have an opponent lined up, I go on vacation. I'm not really on vacation, you know? So that was kind of what I really wanted to do, was go on this vacation at the end of the year, take a little break, treat myself. And then when I come back, just be super refreshed and like ready to go, you know? So I think we'll be back. Well, we'll be back around Christmas, and then we'll get in touch with the UFC and see what they want to do.
Hopefully it's a higher ranked opponent for sure. And if anybody deserves that vacation, Lauren, you definitely do. One last question before we go here. Saturday, I know you don't want to think about fighting, but before you go on that vacation, Saturday we have a title fight in the flyweight division, the men's flyweight division. Do you have any predictions? Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno?
Yeah, I think Figgy Smalls got it. I think he looks
Figgy Smalls. I like that.
Monstrous right now, right? Like he looks so good, like athletic, fast, good everywhere. He can hurt you like numerous ways. So yeah, I think that guy is probably gonna be champ for a while.
Awesome. Lauren, thank you so much for the time today. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful time on your vacation. Hope to see you when you get back. And if you have a fight announcement, we'd love to announce it for you.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you so much, Lauren.
See ya.
Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We'll be back later on with Kelvin Gastelum. He will be right here with us, Mystic Hour on MMA Island. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.